Hey, it's Josh. In this video, let's discuss myths, misconceptions, and making a career. To put it less cryptically, there are plenty of people hungry for success and wanting to start a career in IT and cybersecurity. This is especially true for service members. And unfortunately, as I'm sure you're aware, this career field is equally alluring as it is mystifying. And that's especially the case when you're trying to join its ranks. Then we have a plethora of options when dealing with education, and even more when it comes to the opinions on what's important. We receive plenty of insight on the do's and don'ts, especially from people that are either unqualified or uninformed. And then we have those that have your best interest at heart, but of course they're buried beneath everybody and everything else. Put this together and we have the perfect business venture for somebody trying to take advantage of you, or what I like to call predatory marketing. With that, I want to discuss 10 key points that cover a lot of the problems I see plaguing those trying to get into this industry, covering anything from self-study to programs to your overall mindset and your career map. Our first key point is that there is no set path. More simply, there is no single roadmap into IT or cybersecurity. Everybody's path and journey is absolutely unique. While many people may share their stories and you'll see a lot of similarities, it always seems like there's different deciding factors or different splits or forks in the road that led them to where they are. And I find this to be a beautiful thing. And if you look on the internet long enough, you'll see that there are endless discussions and battles between what is the right way. Some will argue that self-study is the way to go. Others will say degree programs or certification paths or different boot camps or whatever kind of program that they found themselves in. The truth of the matter is that it's really flexibility. No method is better or worse than the other. In fact, they all bring their own benefits. Self-study teaches you to learn how to learn. It also provides you all the study material you could ever find, and it's all endless. It's all out there on the internet, in books, podcasts. Degree programs provide a vetted curriculum taught by industry leaders and industry professionals that have seen it, that have been there. Certifications are typically built by industry standards, by bodies of knowledge that are made up of people that have built the career field itself. Other methods may include apprenticeships or internships where you can work firsthand in these environments and gain that practical knowledge that is absolutely critical to success. But again, the thing to remember is that it's not which is the correct avenue, but it's a matter of picking and choosing which are available to you and what can you take from that. For many, financial means of pursuing a degree program or a boot camp are out of the question. Find what works for you and what works for your financial situation or what you have at your disposal and capitalize on that. As with any form of studying or higher education, one source of information isn't the best path. And I highly endorse any form of higher education, be it self-study, certification programs, or degree programs, or any form of boot camp, or any way that you're going to collect information, gain some knowledge, and make yourself better. Pursue that. Above all, recognize that your biggest asset and your biggest resource is your time. Your time is the most valuable thing that you have in your possession. And realize any way that you constructively spend that time and put it towards bettering yourself and increasing your knowledge and practical experience, that's what makes all the difference. And that's what leads you to success. So break free of the endless debates on what you should do as far as what methods, and just begin. Create a plan, figure out where you want to go, how you're going to get there, and execute that. Point number 2, everyone has an agenda. Your key takeaway here is that advice is commonly given, and sometimes that comes with a hint of personal bias or even hidden motive. Now, this isn't to discredit advice and say that all advice comes with personal bias that is inherently bad. Definitely not the case. There is plenty of advice given with the intent of benefiting you and helping you and encouraging you. For example, while my intent is to provide you with advice concerning how to get in this field and how to pursue your dreams and passion, a lot of my advice is going to be based upon my experiences and my perceptions and perspectives. Oftentimes, a lot of the advice I give is based upon what I've learned from others as well as their own experiences. And yes, I come with the best intent, but understand that it's all based upon a personal bias. This is very true for any kind of advice you seek, especially what's out on the internet or from professionals within this industry. Second, hidden motives. While many motives may be to, again, benefit you or help you in some shape or form, understand that there are a lot of persons or organizations, such as training providers. Their sole focus is to get you into their course. And while their course may contain great material and good information, understand that it is a business and it works on a business model that includes gaining financially. The message here is to always practice skepticism. Utilize critical evaluation to understand if that advice is right for you. Any program or resource offered needs to be evaluated. And yes, it may be beneficial, but is it the right choice for you? This is a great segue into point number 3, which is predatory marketing. The key point here is to be wary of businesses and marketing that are preying on those that want to get into this field that may not have a full understanding of how to do it. Unfortunately, those individuals are hungry for success, as I mentioned, but they fall victims, and it's very, very easy to do so. The main way that they capitalize on this is to overprice a program and leave your promises unfulfilled. Even more, they love to target veterans. The most common outcome I see from these different training providers and courses and programs is that they often overpromise and undeliver, or they leave you unfulfilled. Big red flags include that they offer some form of job placement or guarantee of an employment, or maybe they will match you up with an internship. Other times they may promise a crazy high salary upon completion, maybe like in the 6 figures, or maybe they're just overall vague in what they're going to provide you. A big one that I will say to stray away from are buy now, pay later. Oftentimes they're going to target you with a course that could be several $1,000s. And obviously that's a big chunk of change, but they know that you are desperate and hungry to get into this field. And so they will offer you the chance of, hey, enroll in this course and you can make payments over time. While you may gain some true experience or knowledge, the problem is that you're left in debt over a course that may be beneficial to your knowledge, but it doesn't hold any form of actual accreditation. Further, they may try to incentivize you by being able to put this course on your resume. While employers definitely want to see that you have some form of education or experience, just because you took a course doesn't necessarily mean it's accredited or known by employers. This often leaves you with a pretty big bill with some knowledge, but overall, you paid for an overpriced program with little return. Next, point number 4, there is no cheat sheet to success. Yes, there are definitely different approaches you can take that may increase your chance of success, but understand that there is no individual program, no individual certification. Whatever anybody's trying to sell you is not a cheat sheet. It is not your get straight to success card. Regardless of the path you take, it's going to require effort and drive and time. My message here is to focus on learning and experiences rather than chasing guaranteed outcomes. Although I kind of previously mentioned this, point number 5 is that boot camps and certifications do not equal employment. The key point here is that, yes, they are great, but they are essentially tools, not guarantees. Combine your certifications with practical experience and education as a whole. Above all, have a well thought out career plan. Point number 6, make a plan. The key point is that success comes from mapping out your plans and goals. Emphasize on what you want to become or where you want to be. From there, ensure that your journey aligns to that. You can almost perform some reverse engineering, right? Where you know where you want to be, you know where you want to go, and then from there, work back to how you're going to get there. And this may be an iterative process. As you work to fulfilling that and you follow these steps, things will change. And maybe you realize that there was something you forgot, or maybe there's something you don't like. And that's completely fine. That's actually part of the process. Point number 7, again, briefly touched on, is that the journey is for knowledge and experience. Your focus should be on gaining real-world knowledge and experience, not just achieving some certification or some stamp of approval that says you're ready for the field. In situations where you can't just land a job, understand that there's hands-on practice, there's volunteering, there's internships, are all applicable and very valuable when you need experience. Point number 8, paying your dues is not a necessity. While that may sound like I'm contradicting myself, understand that yes, there are situations where volunteer work and practical hands-on experience may include pursuing an internship. But understand that working low-level jobs just to break into the field for years on end is not a necessity. Yes, you should pursue gaining insights into the basics of IT or in networking, systems administration, or database administration. Whatever the case is, these are all practical experiences that will help you break into IT and cybersecurity. But the idea of punishing yourself for years on end that you have to pay your dues to make it big or to be successful is not strictly true. Again, as I mentioned, that there is no golden ticket. There is no guaranteed path to success. Understand that whenever you come up with a plan and you plot your journey and where you want to go, that is your fast track. There is no silver bullet. There is no one certification to rule them all. But having a plan is what's going to get you to your success the fastest. Whenever you have a roadmap, you know where you're going. And that is the key right there.
Number 9
is critics versus gospel. Understand that when people critique or when others are critical of you, this is again based upon their personal experience. And someone's personal experience or their truth is not necessarily factual in all cases. This is just how they experienced it, or this is how they want to portray it. The main takeaway behind that is that whenever we go to other sources or to other experts or self-acclaimed experts, is that we often take their message and their advice for absolute truth, or that this is the way it has to be. Definitely not the case. Even from my perspective, understand that I'm talking about my personal perspective, my personal experiences. And while I do aim to help you and I want you to be successful, understand that everyone is entitled to their own beliefs, to their own opinions, and we all have our own perspectives and our own experiences. Just know that you are in charge of your own goal and you are in your own situation. You know what's best for you and you know where you need to go, or maybe that's what your intention is to find out where you need to go, and that's where you should begin. Number 10 is specifically for veterans and service members transitioning, and that is be aware of your benefits. This isn't specifically to call out that yes, you are entitled to a lot of benefits and that you have a lot of programs at your disposal. The main point I want to make is that you serve up a very niche demographic and you are often targeted for that specific purpose. The reason being, again, is that you have many resources and many benefits that are often sought out by companies that will financially profit from that. Yes, while you do have these benefits, and again, they are at your disposal, and oftentimes if you don't use them, you may lose them, understand that there are many programs out there that you can use these for. And while someone may be asking for thousands and thousands of dollars and they are not providing you that return on investment, there are other programs out there that are very much more legitimate. I will work towards finding those specific programs and providing my own endorsements, but understand that you need to be aware, while many will offer to help you, it's not in your best interest, it's in theirs. As always, thank you so much. If you have any content suggestions, including things you want to learn, whether it's an open discussion such as a video, or maybe further technical concepts like I've covered in my firewall videos, definitely leave a suggestion below and I'd be happy to hear from you. Thank you.